This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for September 5, 2023, gunmen rob a supermarket in Little London, Westmoreland. The Westmoreland police were kept busy on Monday morning as they had to process two crime scenes meters away. Gunmen went on a rampage in the parish as they shot and killed a businesswoman in Little London and robbed a supermarket, leaving an elderly woman nursing gunshot wounds. Chinese nationals of Little One supermarket in the town were robbed of an undetermined sum of cash. Residents told the news that they had to scamper for cover as the men fired a barrage of shots before escaping. It was a crazy sight this morning. I had to run and go flat. The lady that got shot was running, not knowing where the shots were being fired, one resident said. When the news arrived on the scene, it was like a ghost town as many businesses were shuttered. There were also a heavy military presence in the town. Meanwhile, businesswoman Lativa Helps was shot and killed by men on motorbikes. Reports indicate that Helps, who owned and operated Latti's sports bar and restaurant, arrived at her establishment shortly after 8 a.m. when she was confronted by gunmen on a motorcycle. The men allegedly asked her to identify herself. She reportedly attempted to run off but was pursued by one of the men who shot her multiple times in the upper body. The news understands that as the men tried to escape, they were struck by a bus whose driver had witnessed the incident. The gunmen reportedly ran into nearby bushes and were chased by scores of angry residents who police say chopped one of them multiple times. He later succumbed to his injuries. The other is said to be in hospital in a critical condition. A video which has now gone viral on social media shows angry residents with machetes arguing with the police and the military to free the injured man so they could complete jungle justice. Helms, a cousin who spoke on condition of anonymity, told the news that she had been robbed on Friday night. Additionally, she had fallen victim to another robbery just 2 months ago. "Me can't believe them kill off my cousin. She was parked in her vehicle and saw men on bike in mask. She called and told someone that it looks like them are going to rob the bar again," the distraught cousin recalled. The cousin described Helps as a hardworking, kind, and loving person who had been operating her business since 2016. Member of Parliament for Western Westmoreland, Morlan Wilson, told the news that the recent spate of robberies and killings is cause for concern. "Now we have seen where criminals are trying to make a comeback. I know the police are working, and I stand ready as a member of Parliament to help support them and stem this mayhem," Wilson said. "I would like to express my deepest condolences to Help's family. She was loved and admired, and it's a loss to the entire community," he added, as he urged the community members to be extra vigilant. All well-thinking persons within the community of Westmoreland should continue to be vigilant and work with the police. If you see any stranger persons around, contact the police and just take whatever precautions are necessary to prevent you from becoming a victim, Wilson stressed. Motorcyclist dies in Clarendon crash. A 35-year-old man died along the 19-mile main road in Clarendon on Sunday after his motorcycle collided with a car. He has been identified as Kidroy Fisher, a mechanic of Sandy Bay in the parish. According to the police report, about 7:30 p.m., Mr. Fisher overtook a line of traffic and collided with a Toyota Probox traveling in the opposite direction. The driver of the car lamented the death of Mr. Fisher, who he said was known to him. Children's advocate wants schools to relax a grooming policy for boys. Children's advocate Dan Gordon Harrison is calling for school administrators to review and relax their grooming policies for boys. Mrs. Gordon Harrison says while there has been a relaxation of the grooming policy for girls at some institutions, nothing much has changed for boys.
Some may say at one time braids weren't allowed, you couldn't wear your hair beyond a certain length, you couldn't have extensions and so on. All of that in some schools is now relaxed for the girls. But the boys who are Afrocentric have to be, measuring their hair almost as it was, because they have the strictures of all the responsibility for grooming on the boys' side, but nothing in relation to girls' hairs. So those kinds of inequities are things that I think we need to look at very seriously and focus on the important thing of being, yes, appropriate, yes, being properly groomed, yes, being well put together, but the more important thing of teaching and learning. My position is that rules are there to be obeyed, but there has to be a constructive way that school administrations can engage students on the compound, and see how they can arrive at an understanding whereby the student understands that they need to obey and that there are consequences, but not to bar them like animals on the outside and, almost leave them to go walk street, if you will, if I'm going to use regular Jamaican parlance. I think it's something that we need to look at very carefully. I think it's something that merits further discussion. I always shy away from blanket statements because I think that it's very important to look at each case on its own merits and then to inform next steps based on the information that you gather. So that would be my situation. It can't be just business as usual, but certainly that it creates that opening that say, aha, this needs a deeper look because this prima facie is not appropriate. So what do we do to ensure that appropriateness can be reintroduced into that particular situation?
Education Ministry yet to receive report on space shortage at Discovery Bay High. The Ministry of Education says it is still awaiting a report from Discovery Bay High School regarding infrastructure days after the school's principal painted a grim picture of space shortage at the St. Anne institution. Last Wednesday, Principal Dwayne Mulgrove raised the concern that there is no classroom space to house the 50 grade 7 students placed at the institution following the primary exit profile exams. Education Minister Favour Williams has said she is anticipating the report from the school. I haven't gotten a report yet at the Discovery Bay High School. I know that our building person and the permanent secretary have been in conversation about a temporary fix for the situation, she said, noting that she expected an update before the end of this day. Some of the parents at the school on Monday morning called for the ministry to urgently address the space shortage. When I checked out, space is not enough because I did not even expect so much students at this school. So therefore, I think the school could be upgraded a bit with more classrooms, said one woman who spoke with the news. Parents protest dismissal of Seaforth High School principal. Scores of placard-bearing parents protested at the entrance to Seaforth High School in St. Thomas on Monday morning in support of dismissed principal Calbert Thomas. The parents are demanding the reinstatement of the principal. They say Mr. Thomas has served the institution well and positively impacted the lives of the students. 5 kids may have got to Seaforth High School. He is the best principal for Seaforth High School and we want to know what is the problem with Mr. Thomas. Please and thanks, said one woman who explained that 5 of her children were able to do well at the school under his leadership. We need Mr. Thomas. No Mr. Thomas, no Seaforth High School, she declared. Teachers at the school wore black on Monday as they continued their protest against the principal's dismissal. They vowed to keep up the protest for the entire month. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.